We reported how University of North Carolina trustees agreed to offer tenure to journalist Nikole Hannah-Jones after weeks of controversy. She is here with us now for her first interview since the offer was approved. It was approved last week, Wednesday, July 1st. Nikole Hannah-Jones, we welcome you to CBS this morning.
Thank you so much.
What have you decided to do? We just heard the vote was 9-4, offering you the tenure. What have you decided?
Well, I've decided to decline the offer of tenure. I will not be teaching on the faculty of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. It's a very difficult decision, not a decision I wanted to make. And instead, I'm going to be the inaugural night chair in race and journalism at Howard University.
So many things to unpack there. First, let's start with you declining the offer. The vote was 9-4, clearly in your favor. There are some people that could say, you said you wouldn't take the job without being offered tenure. They offered you the tenure, and you're still saying, thanks, but no.
Absolutely.
Because?
Well, because look what it took to get tenure. So this was a position that since the 1980s came with tenure. The night chairs are designed for professional journalists who have been working in the field to come into academia. And every other chair before me, who also happened to be white, received that position with tenure.
It had never been denied. No one had ever been denied tenure before.
Exactly. And I went through the tenure process, and I received the unanimous approval of the faculty to be granted tenure. And so to be denied it and to only have that vote occur on the last possible day, at the last possible moment, after threat of legal action, after weeks of protest, after it became a national scandal, it's just not something that I want anymore.
Because there were two chances, it seems to me, they could have voted for tenure in November. Then you heard that the tenure offer was being pulled. Did anybody explain why it was being pulled?
No, Gail. To this day, neither the chancellor or the provost or anyone on the board of trustees has ever told me why my tenure was not taken up in November, why it was not taken up in January, and even the public statements about needing more information about my credentials. They voted without ever asking me or receiving any additional information than what they had in November.
Now, at one point, I believe there was an offer that you could work there, you could teach for 5 years, and then they would reconsider tenure. And it seems at one point you had accepted that offer, right?
I did.
Did you do that? And what changed your mind?
Well, I accepted it after going through months and months of the tenure process. This is my alma mater. I love the university. The university has given me a lot, and I wanted to give back. It was embarrassing to be the first person to be denied tenure. It was embarrassing, and I didn't want this to become a public scandal. I didn't want to drag my university, through the pages of newspapers because I was the first and the only black person in that position to be denied tenure. So I was willing to accept it.
Yeah, you never spoke up during that time.
Never. This did not become public because of anything that I did. As you know, this is the first time I'm speaking about this at all.
Why do you suppose they didn't right away offer you tenure? What do you think the reason is?
I mean, what has been reported is that there was a great deal of political interference by conservatives who don't like the work that I've done, particularly the 1619 project, and also by the powerful donor who gave the largest donation in the 70-year history of the journalism school. So it's pretty clear that my tenure was not taken up because of political opposition, because of discriminatory views against my viewpoint, and I believe my race and my gender.
Yeah, and let's talk. Should politics be part of this process?
No,
it seems to become very, very political.
Yeah, it's actually against state law for political interference to be part of the tenure process. So no, it clearly shouldn't. Every person who comes up from tenure should be judged by the quality of their work, by how they went through the tenure process. You know, again, it has to be made clear. I went through the official tenure process, and my peers in academia said that I was deserving of tenure. These board members are political appointees who decided that I wasn't.
And can we say you have a 20-year career with impeccable credentials? Let's talk about the 1619 project, because the New York Times did issue a clarification, not a correction. They said they have stood by you. There was a clarification. What was the clarification, and what is your response to the criticism?
Sure. So the clarification was that we added 2 words to a statement on the role of slavery in the American Revolution. The original text, right? The original text said that one of the primary reasons that colonists decided to break off from the British Empire was to preserve slavery. We added that one of the primary reasons that some of the colonists decided to break off. It was a clarification. And I think, you know, in academia and in journalism, we should clarify if necessary.
Yeah.
That's never been seen somehow as making a project illegitimate because you try to strengthen and clarify your argument.
You know, you've released an 8-page statement. I encourage people to read the statement. It's 8 pages where you really take us through exactly what happened.